So,
I can't
has
see.
your son always been brave?
But I didn't get over to dula and live at Valora. How about Tepidi Dorota? Well, let's understand the actors' research now.
Actors research.
Mara machitani sashaya ipeyi-1 unithu vele anisecurity ngaleso sikhathi
You know, Papa, they tumbo mo Papa.
I saw everything.
what trend man
One day.
#Sterring.
Bafowethu, I understand. Machitala vela thulana le. Boom, this.
tabla maf yam
Ilona ke phela bophelo ba ka ka mantra e1. WWVDD.
What is that?
What would Van Damme do?
All right. Yeah, fellas.
Yay! That
So,
trailer.
guys, seeing your guys' faces as the trailer's playing is really warming my heart. When your cast is smiling ear to ear. For people that are watching this podcast, this is Khosana Munchuse. I'm the director, co-writer, and co-executive producer of Sterring, and I'm joined by my beautiful, amazing, talented cast. And I want you guys to just introduce yourselves and the character that you guys play in the film. We can start with you, Noni, top to bottom.
Hello, everyone. My name is Noni Kumalo, and I play the character Nadia.
Yo guys, what's good? Sabelo Majola here, and I played the character of Shaga.
Oba?
Is it me?
Oba gang, anyone? Oba gang, couple? Yeah, go for it, my guy.
Oba gang. Okay. What's up, everybody? My name is Capo, and I play the character. But I gotta give.
Sorry, man.
Hey, boy, man.
Boyki of you.
Boy,
Yeah, I said
yes.
boy.
And Oba?
Hi, everyone. My name is Obaken Kwedi, and I play the character of Lesedi.
Cool, guys. Welcome, everybody. So, we've just come off an amazing screening at Joburg Film Festival where we premiered the film, which happened 13th of March. And I think that's the first time we had seen each other since the set, and you guys hadn't seen the film. So how's everybody feeling after watching the movie? Noni, I think, is still smiling. She's been smiling since watching the film. Noni, you want to tell me how you feel?
I'm so ecstatic. Like, I think just watching everybody in character, because obviously, remember, we shoot in scenes, right? So we're not always together. But just to see the film come together from the very beginning up till the very end was just such a beautiful experience. And what I really love about Staring is we literally laugh from the very beginning, but we go through so many emotions at the same time. So I just think, what an incredible film, what an incredible cast. Like, I'm going to smile, I don't know until when.
Sure. And Capo, how you feeling, bro?
Yo, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm very, very excited about this film. I can't wait for people to see it. We watched it at the premiere. It was amazing. I brought a lot of people there also to come and support. And I love the feedback that I got about the film, and me myself, like for real, like I loved it. Because sometimes you watch your own film and then you get bored, like Isan. But for me, I'm a straight talker. That was amazing. It was beautiful. It was funny, and we miss a lot of comedy. We miss comedy in South Africa, man. Because we haven't been comedy in South Africa, to be honest, man. It was just unless maybe they're not advertising it proper, the other comedies. But I haven't seen it. So yeah, man, I'm happy, I'm excited. I can't wait for the people to see it, man.
Yo, man, I think what everybody wants to know is what did Cass think about the film? Because he was at the screening with someone on the carpet.
He cried at that scene where he
Yeah.
cried, by the way. The scene, this guy was going to fight Shaka at the end. When he put on that thing, he cried.
Yeah,
No,
wow,
for
man.
real, he cried. Like it touched him.
Wow, that's
Like,
amazing.
it
Yeah.
touched him. And I thought the
Yeah.
wife was lying to me when she said, like, yo, I'm sitting next to
Who cried?
to my man, and
So
Casper
sorry, if you don't know,
cried.
we're talking about Casper New Vest, yeah.
Sure.
That's insane, man. I mean,
That's beautiful, man. That was sitting in the audience, and as when I heard the reaction from the crowd in that moment where Rams gets
hello?
out of bed.
Anyone there?
Who wants to think Isabelo? Tell me how you were feeling about the film after the screening.
I think it was, you know, when you know you did it, but you just don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And also because I think it was also great that we didn't have VT on set. It would have gotten us thinking a lot, you know, about what the final product could possibly look like. But with everything that like we had put up together, I think from how the script was to how the location was, how the props were set up, how the costume was, we already knew this is going to be a hit. Just, you know, on the basic things that we had on set, the energy was incredible. So it's like everybody knew this is a great film. We just needed to attest to it and just see it happen to know, okay, this is what's coming, you know? I think one of the greatest things that kind of stood out for me was just the style in which it was shot in. For me, that because I'm also very cinematic like that, you know? The fonts used as well, those just brought a range of films that I had watched back in the days that were very similar. So it was more of like, you know, a give back of where a throwback
Yeah,
of where we
very
come,
what?
you know. So because I'm a very technical person, I could like see a lot of those, and for me that was just to being a part of such was extremely amazing, because it's always been a wish and a vision for me to see myself on an international platform doing something that's completely out of the norm, you know. So you know what, I personally cannot wait for everyone to see it. I also feel like they're not ready, you know, because it's totally
That's dope,
crazy.
man. And so one of the things that like just stuck with me the whole time I was on set working with you is we get into the table read and we read through the script, and someone is like, am I funny? I don't know if I'm funny, man. Like I've never done comedy, you know? And I was already laughing at your character from the audition room, you know? And when I got on set, you were still like, is it working? And I'm like, bro, I am laughing my ass off right now. That stuff is funny. And just seeing you even afterwards at the Q&A, at the screening, still kind of, you know, reiterating that you're not a comedy guy. My guy, you are a comedy guy. You've expanded that range, and maybe there's more comedies for you in the future. I do have a clip of one of my favorite scenes of Shaka. Basically, when I was like, my guy, you're funny. I want to play this clip.
The next scene, the Jabani character gets fatally shot.
Angiyizwa mfashane. Usho ukuthi uyafa
Udabula abafu mfethu. Udubula kabili. Ba ba. Shaya phansi.
Okay, umdubuli yabo. But then njengoba bapha ngibambile lapha yana yabo. Ugaspa for igazi. Bafore ngisaphila baby. Uyayibona le mpahla?
Ngiyayibona.
Yeah.
No cha baro uyafa yena.
Hayi bafo akabuye yisipoki kodwa.
Inkinga ukuthi ziningi kakhulu iphoji kule show already.
You wanna come like a ghost?
That was hilarious.
And that was the first scene I shot in the whole movie. That was the first scene I shot. So.
Yeah. That was his first scene. And I remember after shooting that scene, I'm like, okay, this is gonna work, you know, because comedy is such a difficult thing. Got it. Obakeng, so first time you see the script, you see the audition call, Sterring. Please tell me what's going through your mind. What are you expecting? and just talk me through that process of like auditioning.
Yeah, when I got the script, or rather the sides, and I think I also got a treatment, right? And I thought that was really good. I liked how the treatment was put together, and I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be interesting. But I was so like nervous of it, or of like the character I'm auditioning for to be just like a girlfriend, you know. So I was like, gosh, again, a girlfriend again.
Yeah.
But when I got to reading the sides and I saw the chemistry and I kind of found her, it just got more interesting. The auditions were really nerve-wracking because it's like, how do I even, again, same. I've never really done comedy that way, especially if it's written like, okay, this is quite funny. So that was really, it was quite challenging for me. And I was like, yo, I don't know if I did too much. I remember leaving the callback or the audition, like, I don't know if I did too much, if I did too little, like, where I have no idea. So when I got it, it was really exciting. And I tried to watch like my favorite quirky girl movies, like 500 Day of Summer and stuff, to kind of find her. But she's not like 100% quirky and cool. She's a bit uncool, but like, so is the tone of the thing, right? They're uncool, and I really really like that. To shooting it and working with everybody again, it was just like, oh, okay, cool, let me listen. And it just, I don't want to say it comes naturally, but it really did help, like working with everybody and working with you, of which I was like, yo, like, I don't, because I'm not sure what a good director is, right? But I really
Yeah.
enjoyed how you gave us the platform. I really really liked how it was like Mantwane with some, with the sense
Yeah.
of direction, so to speak. So that was really really fun. Up until the final product, and I was like, I was nervous though, okay, because if it's recorded, so now I can't say. But
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
point is, just going back to Sabelo's point, I think Gavin did a really fantastic job. So just like
Yeah.
I'm
Shout out.
seeing the stage, just looking how beautiful it is, and how it just moves with him waking up, like those kind of things. I don't know the jargon for it. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
so nice. And how like the
Yeah.
camera was so very the camera itself was like an element of funny, like
Yeah.
cuts and all of that. I thought that was just, it was just fantastic. I really had a good time. And the laughs we had on set also,
Mm.
but like Noni said, seeing everything come together, because obviously I wasn't there for the night scenes or the scenes we just saw now, or the scenes at the tavern. Just seeing everything wrapped together in a bow, it was just like, I couldn't believe it. I'm so proud. I'm so
Yeah.
proud to be a part of it. I think it's funny. I think it's sweet. My little sister, who is like very, she's so particular, and she's so she had a good time. And if that girl can have a good time, dog is done. So it was
Yeah.
really nice. It was really, I really did really like the emotional parts of it as a whole. I think Matthew is so talented, and it just broke my heart. Like, I remember being in the cinema or Coca State Theater thinking, yo, this guy, this is so sad. Can his dreams come
Yeah.
true? For a
Yeah.
moment
Yeah.
there, like, I kind of forgot that I know the whole story, but I was just suddenly like, yo,
Yeah.
this is so sad for this guy. Like, can things
Yeah.
come together for this boo? Please. I remember thinking, oh, Noni's such a bitch. Why is this girl doing this? Like, what's going on? So
Yeah.
it was, I don't want to lie. I'm
Yeah.
proud.
So
That's the word.
amazing. So you did some really cool stuff from a characterization point of view that very subtly that people will miss, like the nail biting, and like you're doing this like really quirky like nail biting thing, which I found very interesting because obviously when we were writing, it was something I thought of in the character, but you brought that element of it, like this just very girl next door, kind of unaware of her appeal, and that's really what the character was on paper. And just a
Yeah.
question to you guys as actors, how do you guys prepare for finding your roles and finding the uniqueness in those things? Especially this for like maybe for like Noni and Capo, you guys also have a unique story in the sense that I know Noni, this was one of your first films that's come out. We worked on something together as well, which is very beautiful, which has not released yet. But this was your first one that's come out, and the second one you shot. So what's that process like for you in terms of finding the characters now?
I think obviously having had just experience from like school, we didn't really do much research. We just took it and we ran with it. But I think with platforms such as these, they're so huge, especially because my characters, like, what we worked on before is like she's a slay queen, but like she's a teacher. Then you've got like upper class slay queen, who thinks that she's all that and more. And I literally remember going to meet up girls in Pretoria and being like girls like this bajwang, like how do they act and what do they do, and really finding the sense of what girls in Pretoria are like. I mean, I'm from Pretoria originally. I grew up in Mabopane, but Mabopane evolves so quickly every year. The language changes, everything just changes. But I think really just finding her. And I remember just also going to you, Hosan, and being like, okay, Mwanyana oki Mwanyana oya, and I mean, I think you were so great in directing where I need to be, because as a person, I'm very jolly, I'm very happy, and you literally pushed me, like you and Petunia were like, yay, you have to be that girl. We have to take you down there. You have to be a main. So I think like a lot of my direction definitely came from you and really seeing the character and what she stands for. So that was a huge part for me. Definitely chilling with Banyana Bako Pitori, but also taking direction from you was just amazing.
Shout out. I remember one of your takes in your audition, in the audition room, you being Noni, being this very nice girl. I'm like, I don't believe you, man. I'm like, I don't believe you. I need you to be mean. You need to go there,
Yeah.
And then she does this beautiful performance, guys. She does this beautiful performance, and afterwards she's like, I feel so bad. And I'm like, yeah, we got it. That's exactly
That's what
what
we're
we
looking
needed.
for.
Yeah. One of my biggest surprises is this man down here, Capo. My guy, tell me about your process of coming on the project and just how you get into character. I know I had not worked with you as an actor. I had not known you as an actor.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like it was fun, man. Like for me, like even with Wiki, with the crutch there, But I was really excited. And then the first time I went to the audition, and it was like you guys. I was so free, man. Like when you go to audition, sometimes you feel so awkward. You're like, ish. But when I got in there, you guys made me feel like, okay, we can do this thing. You know what I mean? And it was the first time working with you, because I've been working with like different directors, but you it was my first time with you, and I didn't know what kind of person you are, and just walking in there and just auditioning and doing the right thing, and then next thing I get a call, say Capo, you know what I mean? And I was very, very excited, man, and that's why when it's the first time working with a director, I always I don't know if I'm irritating them sometimes when I ask them like, oh man, was it okay? No, you can do it again. We can do it 5 times. I don't mind. Like as long as we can get it right. You know what I mean? That's why I keep coming back to you and say, hey, bro, like I didn't see you like clap your hands or something. Just, or maybe, or smile. You just say, okay, cut, and you moved. But I was, it was, playing Boyki was like really dope, man. Like it was very, very dope, man. I won't lie.
Yeah, so you really, and I'll say this openly, like you really surprised me, man. Because so after my cousin director read the script, right, she's like, I know the perfect person for Boyki, and she's like Capo, and I'm like, Capo, does Capo act, right? Obviously, because I wasn't familiar with your work. She's like, yeah, he acts. He's perfect for this. So you come in the room, into the audition room, and she's already feeling like you're gonna kill this thing. And you do it, right? And yes, I laugh, and which I expected. And I'm like, okay, he's got chops. Let me see if he can go to those emotional layers of where I want Boyki to be, because not just he's a comedic relief, but also he's got actually the backstory is so layered with him, with being having a disability, which you guys don't even know is that his dad basically walked out on him as a child when the dad found out he's got this disability, but he's basically living life full steam, is not deterred by his challenges. which I think is such an amazing kind of like character to, you know, to kind of inspire you through the story as well. You know, he's also aesthetic in his own way, you know. So we do this emotional scene with Kapo, and that's when I was like blown away. I literally had goosebumps from, and it was the scene where, so in the scene in the film where Shaka comes in and taunts the guys. Shaka being the bully from their childhood comes in, spotting, Bashara Pia Mole, you know, that scene and the way you played that in the audition room, I think that was so beautiful. And I knew at that point, I'm like, I have to fight for Capo to get this role. And backstory for the you guys who don't know, there was a question of the crutch. Do we keep the crutch? Because with Capo being a prominent media personality, are people gonna buy this thing that he's got a disability? You know, or they're gonna see more Capo? And guys, I fought. I was like, please, to channel, just let us just do the wardrobe fitting. Let's see him in the crutch, and if you still don't believe him after that, I'll walk away from it, you know. So that's us there after doing wardrobe checks, holding our phones, kind of literally recording a little scene so that we could convince them. And I think that was really one of the most amazing things to see on screen, that we fought for that, because it brings such a beautiful layer for the character. And hardest scene to shoot, guys, or your scenes that stick out for you guys?
So sorry,
So
before we
many.
answer that, did you how long did it take you, Kosana, to kind of put us together without like a chemistry test of all of us, you know? Because I noticed that you know, when I did my audition, I did it with Matthews, and I know I saw Noni there. I didn't see Kapo there, you know, and like since with Lesedi, Liboiki, Leanna Matthews.
And
Moremi,
Matthews, yeah. Yes.
Like them three are a circle of friends. Like, how did you know that, for instance, me and Kapoor would gel? How did you, what kind of led you into choosing us as a group?
What kind of led? So the audition process, we obviously on our side, we do it very differently when we do the casting, right? So usually we chemistry tests are such a big part of how we approach casting. So we usually do a lot of grouping. So Sabelo will know this, Noni will know this, Kapol know this, because they came to more than one audition. I think you only came into one round of auditions, right? So in the first round, we had already done chemistry tests with these guys, and we had already looked into knowing so that Matthews works with Kapo in terms of our Boyki and our Moremi. That was really the core, starting from there for this particular film, and then branching out into the love interest from there. So looking at Nadia versus Lesedi, right? Lesedi being the girl next door, we needed to have a certain kind of energy. Same as like Nadia, which Noni brought so beautifully as well. And seeing, do we believe that, you know? And then the Shaka being an antagonist, really, that we played in the room as a chemistry test to see how does he taunt the guys, you know, once they're in front of him. Do we believe that he is this actor who's made it, and they are these like losers from the hood, you know? And I think, that was really finding that balance. But also, one of the trickiest things about casting this movie was obviously the big elephant in the room. It's set in Soshanguve. So we had to obviously have the Pedi language coming through strongly, which I had never really worked with before. That was really, really limiting. As we know, a majority of our industry is very Nguni speaking. So it was very tricky. But Rams, Matthews just really beautifully brings that across, and Obayo also very comfortable there. So with Capo not being Betty speaking, we had to make some tweaks just because we just felt he's so strong for the character. And 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 Nadi and Nano Noni, you were asking, should you do it in Pedi or should or
Yeah,
just
did
Swat?
in Setswana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was so cool. So we ended up having this like very kind of multi tribal film, which is cool,
Yeah.
which is initially really not how I initially was thinking, but I do love how it's all come together, because I think once actors sit so beautifully in their characters, you can really kind of put aside all of that other stuff. What I was sky, and you just kind of you just enjoy the energy of that. Yeah.
And I want to add, Kosana, because a thing about Pitori as well is people come from all walks of life to go live
Yeah.
there. Like my
Yeah.
mom didn't want to go from the rural areas, but she lived in Mabupani.
Mm.
So there is that element, and there's going to be somebody from Soshanguve that understands Kapo, because he speaks such deep, Setswana from the northwest. There's going to be somebody who comes from KZN and moved to Soshanguve and will understand Sabelo. So I think just the mixture of culture was so brilliantly done. Obviously, the majority being, Pitori speaking people. I think just the combination of all the accents and, all the languages, I think just came together so beautifully.
Dope. I'm gonna play another clip for people to see. Check out the film on Showmax, which we're TXing Friday, the 4th of April. And obviously it's there on Showmax. Another little taster for people to kind of get excited for the film. We'll play a little clip from Nadia and Shaka doing Shaka things.
Hey, baby man. Sa kono batong bana ke hafane. Bila o batong bona ke hafane. Ho tsalang.
Baby yini?
Masikeng sa matsileng ya ka ibile ke feditse ka wena. Tswa.
Baby man, ma isikhuluma.
And he says he's not funny.
He's
so hilarious. Like
the ebbs and flow of that scene killed me, because that's also bombed. And go through that of like our story to him transitioning into that was so beautiful. Sabelo.
Solo. He's brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Kapo, what do you think about that one? Because you weren't part of that scene. I guess when you're watching when you're watching the film, you get to see other scenes that the other characters did. Yeah.
But I like the scene. It's funny, but level action, like damn. Most of the guys, some of the guys went through that, in life, and it's funny, when your girlfriend chats on your phone. Yeah. But it's in the past, like I was caught in the past like that. It brought back some memories. Like, who's this? And there's nothing you can say.
Yeah.
and that time you as a man, you're so happy to see your woman, but now she already found out, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? But now you come with a towel trying to show her love, and the next thing but that was funny. Somebody's funny, bro.
I think for me, there's a question that Jose and I asked. We just couldn't get to answer it because it was just, I think there was something else rotating around. Which was what was the hardest scene for you to shoot? I think we all had an idea what this scene is going to turn out to be, but the beats, I don't think they were all the same in our minds, and for it to come together in that way was just so magical, because when you're watching it, you're seeing this happen here, you're seeing this happen here, you see where it all started and how it just comes together. It's extremely magical, and also the whole dialogue that happens during the mugging scene, and then all of a sudden Shaka comes out of nowhere with his bravado, still saying, I'll take you guys down after running out. That
was hilarious.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I think I watched that and I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
that could have never been me though.
Yeah.
So yeah, most def. I think that was like one of the hardest scenes to do, because it was in the timing, it was in the pace, and
yeah, you're right.
And another funny part is
Sure.
when they're with Usabelo's dad, and the guy's wearing the shirt Samuremi.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That touch was hilarious.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I had a lot of, I had a lot of,
Dumelang.
I laughed a lot in the edit room because when you actually like edit and you play around with certain timing things, like Shaka coming out and seeing the cameras and that little this thing that you did, that thing killed me. Like seeing the cameras being recording and he's like, still trying to show face. That was just like brilliant improvisation, and and what I really want to know from you guys is what did you go? What is the most surprising thing you experienced in terms of what you thought was going to happen and what ended up happening? And I'll start with myself, right? I've this was like my first real like full-on comedy. I've done rom-coms, but this was really like more comedy than I've done. And I always say, like, if it's funny on the script, it'll be funny on screen type of thing. And I was really just trusting that that's what's going to carry it. But when I then started playing with you guys on set, I started realizing, and I think it was like Capo ad-libbing certain things, which then led to reactions from other actors doing other things. And I was like, nah, man, that's actually where the tone of this film lives for the actors. They need to have the script as more of a guideline, and then whatever you throw in the take, we just kind of need to run with that. And that was the most surprising thing. Is the most loose I've approached directing. At some point, the scene with the kids, in our opening scene of the film, I was standing behind the camera next to the kids like this, prompting them. Usually, I'm a director who likes to be in front of the monitor, but I had to. They just felt right in that moment. Go and be with the kids, and that was the most surprising thing. Is just being very free about how to make this film. I think we've just been losing Obakeng. Anybody else who had a surprising experience?
There's a scene, right, where Rams was at Shaka's dad's place, the pub thing.
Yeah.
And that guy, then I came in and he said to me, like, yo, are you still angry about that thing? Don't worry, man. And then he took the money and he put the Zaka on my head in Fanak. And you see that thing, it hit me like it's really happening for real.
Yeah.
I was like, if someone had to do that to me, dog, like, yo.
It hit home, boy.
Yo, like, I don't care. But if someone had to do that thing to me and put money on my head and say, go buy yourself whatever.
That was deep.
I felt it. I felt it. Kurumo Ramsey, the way he did it, like it's like he's really talking to me like this boy,
I remember your reaction, and I think we couldn't stop laughing because we're all like, yeah, this is hilarious. And your reaction was you couldn't believe it.
That one.
You had to stay in the take.
That was surprising for real.
Yeah, and that's actually such a good example of what I mean by actors throwing out things that, because I didn't really direct it like that, but it was like a take that it just was the actors presented it, and I was like, okay, let's go with this. It feels I think it's your reaction that made me go, okay, let's keep this, because you were just you felt so like small in that moment, and it was so beautiful for the arc of that friendship. That I think works really well. Obakeng, I think you missed the question. I was just asking what happened in the filming process that surprised you, based on you expecting to do one thing and then you ended up doing something else that you didn't anticipate?
Wow, what caught me by surprise?
Yeah.
Is when it's a similar scene to Kapo's when he left, when he chose to go with Nadia. I didn't think I was gonna, sit. I thought she was just gonna stand there, be in shock and awe and hurt. I didn't. When I sat, like, when it was cut, I was sitting down.
Yeah. That was so. That scene was so beautiful, man. Like where you guys went in terms of the emotional like because obviously it's a crime comedy, it's fine, it's got that crime stuff, but the heart of it and where you guys went and your choices in those emotive scenes was so beautiful. Like when you sat there, when that car just drives away, it's so picturesque, but it's so heartbreaking. It's just it's beautiful, man. Beautiful moment. Yeah, very sad. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Yo, and I want to extend that because obviously I'm in the car watching all of this happen. I think just the chemistry between you and Matthews was just impeccable. It felt like it could have even been longer, that scene, the moment where you guys lock eyes and you almost like excited to go out. And when he stepped into the car and I just rolled up that window and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like I literally wanted to cry in the car. And he was like, that was so heartbreaking for me. And I think you guys did that so beautifully. And to look at it from the outside, just magnifique. Brilliant.
Yeah. Speaking of that chemistry, let's see a little clip that captures the girl next door with the guy next door.
So, o kry-ile script se ke go romeletseng sone?
Ya ke se kry-ile ngwana ka ba ka se gugula ke dladile ka matlho mola ka bona gore meskini santse ke tsene se John Claude bo ke betha ka ma blood spot 2 daso or ke tsena ka dread ka ka chest
Okay.
you wait
Hey, shut the out and but na ke re we better serems. Yeah, e better serems se wena jo. Cool, calm, collected, but somebody le boss.
yeah all right wait Keanu ke John Wick
Oh, beautiful.
Guys,
and that's
I
that
have
was
to
also
say
something.
this. Matthews is an amazing performer.
Yeah.
Like, you get to shoot scenes here and there, but when you see it come together, you're like, this guy's just incredible. I think one of the things that really stood out for me was when he was drunk and he was having that conversation with his father. I was like, what?
Yeah.
The consistency in that. For an actor, that's just one of the hardest things to do, to be intoxicated and be sane at the same time. That is just insane. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm so sad he couldn't join us today. Shout out to Matthews. I must say, like, even the casting process with Matthews, like I always saw just a backstory from my side. I had this concept for about 4 years or so. And I'd even gone and written like a first act, just because I wanted to just get it out, but I didn't quite know what the lead was going to be like or who was going to play this thing, and when we got to casting and then Matthews walked in and then he did his first take, I was in stage. I had tears in my eyes from laughing. And that takes a lot to get somebody like me to be like, you know what I mean? Because people are always like, oh, this guy's very serious and intense. But when I cry tears from laughing, you must know that some real stuff is going down. And the other thing that's so interesting is that I obviously based this film on my childhood, which was very much in the, like the 90s, early 90s, so it was like a lot of 90s films. So there was a thing of age, because you technically be my age, late 30s, early 40s, playing to that thing. But Matthews had a much younger look than what was written. So as soon as you showed it to the channel, they also were seeing somebody older. But when we showed them Matthew's tape, the head of scripted, Usanele, literally stood up from his chair laughing. And he was like, I can't even argue this. That's how good that audition was. And yeah, man, what a performer, to be able to take us to carry this film from the funny moments to the sad moments to the very physical stuff that he needs to go through, to the transformation that we eventually have in the film, to the romantic stuff. Really, really talented, beautiful performer that I'm glad that I've kind of gotten to work with him. And yeah, hopefully we all get to play again in maybe a sequel, let's just say, putting it out there, but we'll touch on that just now. Just gonna play a quick clip of Matthews, who couldn't join us, but I think people need to just get a taste of our leading man and how much he kills this film.
Kasi kung
It's
busy
amazing.
mo dulitse bo date my family ka mo le boyfriend ha ite. O busy on rasi tsa mo nga. Hana boyfriend.
Mama! Mamutu. O sa ngwene sa fetšeng mmereko wa ka moka o ka gae a fetše le buka tša gago tša sekolo a ba dite ngomlesa mana bogele tv
Kana family ke family jwang ya se support ditoro tsa bana ba bona. Ke tlo ba famous actor no itse ding. Wena, ka mme a ntswetse. Ka disown.
Yes.
That time his mom is in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And that family,
Yeah.
like the home was so well.
Well.
Shout out to Petunia. The family together was just
Yo.
yo. When
Yeah.
and the mom laughed at him. How?
Yeah. No, it's hectic. But I think,
That
man, I think I think we can all relate to that thing of wanting to pursue this career and you know, your family having to ask you twice, like, are you sure you want to do this? You know, like life and I think that's really at the core of this film is, you know, really going after your dreams and having those people on your side that are there to be on the ride with you. And I think that's really the Lesedi and Boiki's kind of role in this, is that there's anchor, there's champions. They're like, dog, look, your acting might not be popping right now, but we are with you on this, and we're gonna push you and believe in you on that. And I think really that's the beautiful message of the film. Any character that you guys favorite character outside of your own character for each actor? Sabelo?
It has to be Rams. Or
Okay,
outside
why?
of the lead actors.
Yes, no, outside of just your character. So Rams, why do you like Rams?
I think, knowing Matthews on a personal level and just looking at the work he's done, I really didn't think he has this in him, and how he came through, just had a different outlook in how you prepare yourself as an actor, and how we can just diversify from what everybody knows us to be. I think I'd also reference a lot of things from him, whenever we do rehearsals, that just kind of bounce off ideas, and like I'm saying, he really just stood out for me in a way that I never thought was possible, but man, I would give it to Rams on this one.
Dope. Noni?
Oh,
Favorite character?
definitely.
It doesn't have to be a female. It can be any character in the thing.
No, but it's Lesedi for me. I think just the ability to be the girl next door. I think about your ability to communicate with your eyes is just impeccable. I think for any great actor to be able to communicate their emotions through their eyes, and you do that literally in almost every single scene. And I think that's why I think you and Rams then made so much sense, you and Matthews, because there was just that striking balance of him being like overly, comedic, and you just being the calm girl who brings sense and logic. And I think just to be that, the voice of reason in the chaos of comedy, I think you nailed it, babes. Mwah! Loved it.
Thank you.
And Oba, favorite character of the film?
I promise you, it's not because you said me. It's about Nadia. I like consistency. I like the consistency of Nadia. Like, I'm trying to find my voice artistically and within film, like as a whole, as an actor. So I do a lot of research and like character work and what a round character is. And Nadia is what we'd call a flat character, because there's not much of an arc, right? She's just there is that heartbreak and I want this guy, but she's after fame and all of that. And I think her consistency is insane up until the last scene where she's on the phone and say, and what? Why? How is this girl living in her delusional world? Like, I believed it 100%. That, and I think so. Not TK, the other one with the rotten.
Mollo.
Mollo.
Boy.
Yeah.
Mollo, ne?
Yeah, Mollo. Yeah.
Is it the guy or the the lady. That's
No, the
Mullo.
guy, the guy,
So not
the guy, the
TK.
two. Yeah, the
Yeah,
other guy.
The
Yeah,
tall one.
Mullo.
Mullo.
that
Yes.
was really like I'm talking story like he was just really quite funny because he then tried to go sell the lady in the first scene I think was it where he goes
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah,
sell the
yeah.
and I thought wow which speaks to the writing of it you guys like the way
Mm,
you tied those little loose ends, how he tried to sell the thing to Uboiki and Muremi, and they said
yeah,
no. And at the end of that scene, he does the same thing to the mom, or like they get
yeah,
mugged.
yeah.
Anyway, like that writing in there, I thought it was really, I'm so proud to be a part of this. Anyway, so for me, it's Nadia and Mullo.
Dope.
And
Kapo,
another
are
one
you? Yeah.
outside of the main character, Selena. Oh,
Yes,
Oh, Selena. Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah. How
Oh,
can we
she
forget
nailed
about
it.
Selena? Yeah, no, she
Yeah.
killed
Oh,
that
she did.
thing. So,
Yeah,
so
she
those
did.
two, so those two roles, for me, like, those two castings specifically, I love them because it's also this, when I know as actors sometimes you don't get a role that you're auditioning for,
Yeah.
and I know how that can be a hard thing to take, but you never know where an audition is gonna go because the actor who plays Mollo had auditioned for Boyki, right? But as soon as I saw him, his energy, I was like, that's Mollo, and you
Yeah.
just know it, you just feel it, you just like it's
He did.
and with Selena, when you audition those Selenas, as soon as I saw that tape, I was laughing like that's the girl. Done.
Yeah.
Done. It doesn't even need a conversation after that. And it's just beautiful coming across that energy where people just sit in a character so strongly. Yeah, Capo, is your internet with us?
It comes with bias, man. I don't know what's going on my internet, bro.
It's
And
it's
it's
all
my
that Fortnite, man. It's all that Fortnite that's finishing the data.
Data.
Yeah.
No, man. No, I don't know what's going on. I'm so bored, dog. I keep missing some of the questions.
Nah, it's all good, man. Okay, we're about to wrap up, but I think whose clip have we not seen in our I think we've seen everybody's clips. Oh no, let's since he can't talk, let's show a clip of Mr. Capo playing Boyki, and in this clip Rams is about to get the deal of his life. He's gone viral and he's at the multi-choice building for the deal of his life, which is really, really funny scene that comes after this whole debacle.
ha ntse o le boso wena o ntse o le bona ke tshunang
wetse wena ntwana ka sa gagone ngwana sa go feletse go dula mo o ba shebe snacks o ba fe the bad ass look ntwana ka bona o tseletsa bo Nicolas Cage yeah wo bona the rock you win perfect ntwana perfect.
Shout out Capo, shout out Boyki.
Yeah.
Cool guys. As we
I need to get that clip. I don't know where I'm gonna find it, but I'm gonna please send it to me. I want it.
Cool, man, no problem. Cool guys, as we wrap up, two last questions. First one is anything unique that you guys are going to take from Sterring into future projects? Anything you've learned? Anything that's added to the craft? Anything that's just made you grow in a different way? As I've stated with me, it was just directing in a very loose way, which is something I've never done. And I think it's a really cool skill set that I think I have to approach comedy with at times, is just to be free and really be open to playing on the day. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think play is one of the ones that I took from Sterring. I think just really throwing yourself in there and giving it. I think it's always better to be over than under. And I think that's what this film really taught me. But I think another tough one is going to be going into another casting with a different team, because you guys nailed the cast, and not just on screen, but I think
Yeah.
off screen as well. I think having
Yeah.
worked with every single one of you has been incredible. The laughs we had on our way to set, just relatability, speaking about our lives, asking about our relationships, about our flops. I think just to be able to not just cast great artists, but to cast great people is
Yeah.
something really commendable. We got along like a house on fire. Like, hey, the next cast I would have difficulty with because the bar is set very high.
Yeah. Shout out. Yeah. Cool, guys. And hopefully we can see Sterring 2 that eventually can hit screens. But for now, Sterring premieres this Friday, 4th of April on Showmax. If you're watching this and you're wondering what we're talking about and you want to have an amazing ride, because that's how I describe this film, is that whether you know anything about karate movies, martial arts movies, what you're gonna go on a fun ride.
Yeah.
And you're really gonna feel like this is 90 minutes or a subscription from Showmax that you should have done a long time ago. That's all I can say. Closing words from everyone. Sabelo, describe what people can expect from Sterring. Can be one word, it can be a feeling. Yeah.
I think it has to be an exterior feeling, because a lot of movies are shot indoors and this one is shot outdoors. So it's just a burst of energy that you possibly have never seen before in the country. Yeah.
Dope. Noni, closing words.
I think like if you really want to feel the vibe of what a township is like, especially Soshanguve, then this is the film to watch. We're literally putting Soshanguve on the map. I think the characters are just so bright. You are gonna laugh until you fall off your seats from the very beginning until the very end. But again, a great roller coaster of emotions, a very relatable story. And as you said, Hosana, like I'm not a big kung fu girl that watched fighting films, but I mean this is relatable to everybody. It's just a story about a guy who truly believes in his dreams, and he lets his supporters down at some point, but they all come together so beautifully. So it's going to be magnificent.
Obakeng, what can people expect?
I think people should expect genuinity, like it's genuine. Whatever each character is going through, whatever it is, everything's genuine. Like even Nadia is in her want for the thing, that we may see as shallow, but it's all genuine, and it comes from the performance, it comes from the shot, it comes from the scoring. Like you're just in for a wonderful experience. You're in for a cinematic joyride. It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. Our stuff looks beautiful, and if you're one who is visually stimulated, I think you'll have quite a good time with this as well. Laughs, definitely laughs, some heartfelt moments, and it's universal language. I think Sterring, like we've said, it goes beyond whether you watch Passenger 58 and did the universal. Definitely, you will definitely relate to it, because at one point or another we were all Moremi. We were all Moremi. If you liked Shark Tale, this will grip you.
Shout out. Capo, closing words, Maji.
Not just one word, history, guys. That's it. I'm done.
Beautiful, man.
History.
Come on.
That's it.
Beautiful. Thank you to my amazing, talented, beautiful cast for really pouring your guys' hearts into this project.
Hosana, you've paid us already. You don't have to
yeah, but the magic the magic doesn't happen with you guys, and it's been a really beautiful experience making this film with you guys. One of the hardest projects that I've had to make, but you guys made it kind of worth it, just seeing the final product. And I really hope that everybody who is watching this podcast and eventually watches the film, really enjoys our offering, and hopefully see you guys on the next one. And peace.
Peace out, A-Town.
Peace, everybody. This was lovely.